I'm Mega Mike the Movie Man, and today I got a mega movie plan. Today I'm back with another video for you all. I'm going to be showing off my entire Blu-ray Steelbook collection, and I already showed off my 4K Steelbook collection, so if you haven't seen that video yet, make sure you go and watch that one after you're done with this video, of course. But yeah, I'm going to go through all my Blu-ray Steelbooks I have ever picked up, just kind of showing off the front cover to you all, and maybe sharing a few thoughts of the movie on each one. That way we can get through that entire collection at a good pace. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with this. So the first one I've ever picked up is The Dark Knight Rises. Wow, I remember getting this one a long time ago, and this really got me into Steelbooks. This is my favorite movie of all time, and if you've seen my top 10 best movies of all time video, you will know that this is my number one. Such an awesome movie in my opinion, and I really like this Steelbook just with the rain and the broken Batman mask. I just thought it looked so cool on the shelf. I had to pick this one up, and that's what really got me into collecting in general. And such an awesome Steelbook. Once again, really like this one. So continuing on with the superhero movies here, we're going to get into some animated ones now because my live action ones are mostly in 4K. But now getting into some animated superhero movies. We got Batman Ninja. Now this was a really fun movie, a really good Elseworld story. I just had a good time with it, and the Steelbook just looked so awesome, and it has a nice shine to it as well. And so that captures the movie perfectly. Really good movie. If you haven't seen this one, I know it's animated, and some of the superhero animated movies aren't the best, but this one's actually pretty good. Not amazing, but pretty good. Now continuing on, we got another superhero Steelbook right here. We got Red Sun. Now this is also an Elseworld story. Basically, if Superman would have landed in Russia as a young kid and kind of see how he became Superman in that location. Really interesting premise for a story. I like the premise more than I like the movie here, but it's kind of an interesting one to check out. So if you want a Elseworld story, something that's a little bit different with the Superman character, I remember this one being okay. Not bad, not good, just kind of in the middle, but nice looking Steelbook. Now, my last superhero animated Steelbook here, I got Wonder Woman Bloodlines. And I remember this one being pretty decent. I haven't seen this one a whole bunch of times, but I remember it for it being a Wonder Woman story. It was alright. So if you're looking for more Wonder Woman movies, this animated one isn't terrible. But to me, it wasn't great either. Kind of in that middle area. But decent looking Steelbook. Now that's my superhero genre section, so let's go ahead and take a look at a couple horror movies here. So we got Friday the 13th, The Killer Cut, and this is the remake of the Friday the 13th series, which I really enjoy this movie. I know a lot of people don't, but for a remake, I didn't think it was half bad. So there's some things I like about the movie, of course some things that could be improved on. But I think I got this Steelbook pretty cheap, so I picked this one up. This was before I got the entire Shout Factory collection of all the Friday the 13th movies. So this is now kind of an extra one, but still nice to have that Steelbook. Like I said, I enjoy that movie. I know most people don't, but I enjoy it. Next is a Steelbook I picked up just because it was a little bit cheaper, and I just thought the front cover looked amazing. Totally a blind buy here. I did not know what to expect out of this movie at all. This is Mandy, and I just like the colors on it, and it may not shine through just perfectly here, but I like the purples and the reds and the pinks on it, and it just looked very mystic. Now, to me, this was probably a movie I shouldn't pick up because I'm probably never going to watch it again. I really don't see myself watching this one. Didn't leave a great impression. I mean, it's fine for what it's going for. It's just not my type of movie. Nicolas Cage is alright in it and everything, And I know some people are really going to like this one, and some people do really enjoy this movie. For me, it's just not one that I think, oh, I want to rewatch it a whole bunch of times. But awesome steelbook. Really, really nice steelbook with all those colors. That's why I picked it up. Next, we're going into a little bit of suspense thriller right here. We got A Quiet Place. Now, this movie I can highly recommend. I really enjoy this series of movies. The second one is really, really good as well. I have that on 4K, but I got the first one on Blu-ray before I started really collecting into the 4Ks. And you know what? Really awesome movie. So if you haven't seen that one yet, definitely check it out. And I like kind of the scratches on the front of the monster's claws. Nice little steelbook to have right there. All right, next we're going into some more dramas here. We got The Breakfast Club, and this is just an awesome steelbook. I really like how it just captures the movie perfectly with it being a locker, and you can see all the doodles on it, and just really, really fun right there. And this movie is absolutely amazing. John Hughes is a great director and writer, so any movie he's been a part of, I've most often really, really enjoyed. So I think he's a very underrated director, and to me, he's the best writer of all time. So really good movie, really nice steelbook, just captures the movie perfectly. And I like when steelbooks can do that, when they can just capture the movies so perfectly. Next, we're getting into another drama here. And this is going to be Forrest Gump. Now, this movie is absolutely amazing. To me, this is one of the best movies of all time. Won a Best Picture, and it is just so great. To me, this is Tom Hanks' best performance, and such a fun movie, such great quotable lines. And this is a movie that has a lot of rewatchability. And I actually have a couple Blu-rays of this one, but this is the steelbook here. And I like the steelbook. Really, really good movie. I feel like that's a movie that should be in most people's collection. Of course, if you like the movie, but I just think it's so good. Next, we're getting into one I got super cheap. I don't know why they made this one super cheap. It was like $6 off of Best Buy one time, and I didn't know much about this movie. I think I saw a trailer, and I'm like, okay, we'll do a blind buy on this one. But for $6, a steelbook, and this steelbook's really nice. This is Whiplash right here. I like the symbol on the front. And to me, it just captures the movie perfectly. And look at that, the drumstick for the spine. I think that just works really, really nicely too. So overall, really liked buying this one because it's such a good deal. And the movie is awesome. The movie is absolutely fantastic. Don't know why it was so cheap in steelbook form, but hey, I'll take it. Absolutely, absolutely. Such a good buy. Next, we have a movie that does mean quite a bit to me. Not necessarily on the quality of it, but this movie, really, really important to me. I got this one actually for my fiance because this is the first movie we ever saw together in theaters. So I got it for her for like an anniversary. And so this is Chappie. Now, I think the movie is pretty decent. Some people really don't like it. I think it's decent enough. I don't think it's great or amazing or anything. It's not like one I always want to go back and watch again and again. But once again, it just has so much sentimental value to me, being me and my fiance's first movie seen together in the theaters. And so I just had to get this one for a gift. I thought it was a good gift idea, me being a movie fan and whatnot. And I actually do like the steelbook. I like having Chappie right there on the front. I think that all works nicely with the colors. So happy to have that one in the collection. Next, we're getting into one that's a little bit older as well. This is Power Rangers. And you know what? I really liked this movie. This is one I picked up from Target. And you know what? I had a fun time with this movie. It's not a movie that I think is like super memorable or anything like that. But I think for a kind of a Power Ranger reboot of sorts, I think they did a decent job. Didn't think it was amazing, but didn't think it was bad. Thought it was pretty decent. And this one was cool because they actually came with, like, if you can see, it's like a book that comes with it, which is kind of cool to have that addition to the movie. And that's the only Steelbook I have that has that book along with it. Usually you don't get books like that with Steelbooks all the time for the most part. So thought that was pretty nifty. Next, continuing on with some sci-fi here, we got Total Recall. Now, I do wish I would have waited to get the 4K of this one, because the 4K did become pretty cheap on this one as well. And then they also had that 4K one with the combo of Terminator 2 together, which looked really cool. So I wish I would have waited on getting this one, but this was super cheap. Never seen the movie. It was a blind buy, but I heard decent things about the movie. And you know what? I enjoyed the movie for the most part. For a sci-fi movie, I think this is definitely one to have in the collection. Can never go wrong with Arnold. Next, going into some adventure action type of movies, I have the complete Mummy trilogy. Now, this was also super cheap when I found it at Target, and this is the trilogy, so it has all three of the Mummy movies, and I really like the first two Mummy movies. Now, I think the third one is a really, really bad movie in my opinion. Like, I've tried watching it many times, and I'm like, oh, I wish I really liked the third one. I just don't like the third one. But the first two, I really, really like. Brendan Fraser is just great in them, and yeah, so have to have it. And it was super cheap to get 3 movies together in a Steelbook like that captures the movie perfectly. Once again, can't go wrong with it. Next, this is one I picked up from FYE. Never seen the movie before. I got the Steelbook, and this is Carlito's Way. Now, this is one that I'm okay with having the Blu-ray Steelbook of. I know that it got released on 4K as well, but it's not like one of my favorite movies of all time. I still prefer like Scarface to this movie. I still would prefer The Godfather to this movie. I still prefer like Goodfellas to this movie, but it's still a decent movie for its genre. And this was super cheap too on sale. I think this one was like $10 when I got it, so it's worth it for that. And Sean Penn's performance in it is fantastic, so can't go wrong with Carlito's Way as well. Next, we got Fast and the Furious. Yes, just the first one. Now, I never saw this movie before I picked up this Steelbook, but once again, this was super cheap, and if I see a super cheap Steelbook, I definitely want to get it. Now, I've seen a lot of the other Fast and Furious movies. I think I started to watch them once it got to number 5, and to me 5 was actually pretty good. But I never saw the first one before that, so I wanted to see the first one. Decent movie. Not a great movie, but decent enough for like a street racing type of movie. Next, we got Highlander. Once again, completely a blind buy, but it was a good deal, and the Steelbook is really nice with the Highlander sword on it. I just really like that. Really, really cool. And you know what? A lot of people love this movie, or at least really like the movie. I think it's decent. I had an okay time with it, but I probably need to give it another watch. I just didn't think it was amazing or anything, but they got a Highlander reboot coming out soon, from what I hear. I think this one is supposed to come out in 4K as well, but I was okay with having the Blu-ray of it. Like I said, it was a movie that I didn't really know much about, and it ended up not being like one of my favorite movies of all time, so probably not going to watch it a lot of the times. Next, we're going to get into some like Christmas movies and holiday movies. So we have Home Alone, one of my favorite movies of all time. So great. And I got this Steelbook pretty cheap as well. Gotta have Home Alone in the collection. Now, they did come out with a 4K Steelbook of this one. That one I wish I would have waited on, but I didn't know they were coming out with a 4K one at the time. So I picked up the Blu-ray one for cheap, and I still like having the movie in the collection, of course. Next, we have another trilogy. The Santa Claus trilogy. Yes, all the Santa Claus films right there. And I really like the design of this Steelbook right there, just to see Santa in the snow there. You know, if you've seen the movie, you get where that's from. And I just really like this Steelbook. And you get all 3 movies. And this one was, once again, pretty cheap. So to get 3 movies, and I think Santa Claus 2 is a really, really good Christmas movie. And I like the first one as well. I kind of go back and forth between the first one and second one. I might like the second one a little bit more right now though, but the first two I think are really good. Third, I kind of forgot about. So yeah, third isn't that great, but I think first two are pretty good. Next we're going into a Christmas Halloween type of movie, and this is The Nightmare Before Christmas. This one is actually really decently valuable still, but I wouldn't say really valuable, but I know a lot of people want this one from what I hear. And Nightmare Before Christmas is my favorite Disney movie. Perfect movie for either the Halloween time or Christmas time. Just works either way. And I just really like this movie. All the music is absolutely fantastic. Can't go wrong with Oogie Boogie. So nice to have the Steelbook Blu-ray of that one. Also continuing on with the Halloween theme here, I got Casper. Now this was a blind buy for me as well. I never saw the movie before getting this Steelbook 25th anniversary edition. And this is a really good movie. I was surprised, and there's a lot of fun cameos and Easter eggs in there from other movies. And this is just a solid Halloween family movie. It is a really, really good movie. So I'm happy I got this one. This is one I can see myself watching around the Halloween season quite a few times. Next, continuing on with some family movies, we got E.T. Can't go wrong with E.T. You always need to have that in the collection. Now I know some people love this movie. I really enjoy the movie. But it's not one of my favorites, but it's a good family movie, sci-fi with it. So, nice to have that in the collection. And it's just a really nice Steelbook, having E.T. on the front. I do like that. Now we're on to my last Steelbook here, for Blu-rays. My last Blu-ray Steelbook. And we got Space Jam. Yeah, Space Jam. This is not the 4K one. This is just the Blu-ray Steelbook. But I really like the artwork on the Steelbook. I think it captures the movie perfectly. And I really enjoy this movie. I have a fun time with that first Space Jam movie. Really enjoyable. So that is all of my Blu-ray Steelbooks. Once again, if you didn't see that 4K Steelbook video, go ahead, check it out and see all my 4K Steelbooks. Also, let me know in the comments below, are there any other collections you would like to see out of all the movies I have? What should I show off next? I've only showed off 4K Steelbooks and now Blu-ray Steelbooks. So let me know in the comments below, what would you like to see next? What can I show off to you all? Also, if you're discovering my channel for the first time, make sure you subscribe right now. I'm going to get you future movie hauls, movie reviews, movie rankings, movie news videos. I post constantly, and I don't want you to miss anything this year. So make sure you subscribe right now. That way I can continue to get you that entertainment value. Also, like the video. And this is Mega Mike the Movie Man reminding you to make every day a movie day.